money. That's why when you rent equipment, you want it working the way it should, clean and ready to roll. NES Rentals provides reliable equipment you need to get the job done. NES is dedicated to maintaining the highest quality and safety standards on every piece of equipment. Come by their local Jackson branch, located at 1546 Airways Boulevard, to find out more about how NES Rentals can get to work for you. Or visit their website at www.nesrentals.com to find out more. This is the Jackson Generals Baseball Network.
No score as we head to the bottom of inning number one. Ian Miller to lead things off for the Jackson Generals. Ian Miller digs in. Left-handed hitter will face a southpaw pitcher on the mound. Chipper Smith, originally a Southern California native, but wound up going to school just outside of Nashville at Cumberland. First pitch from Smith. Fastball is inside, 1-0. Smith has split time this year between Double-A Jacksonville and High-A Jupiter in the Florida State League. 1-0. Bunt shown by Miller. He takes a called strike after pulling back. 1-1. Miller hitting .238, no homers, 16 RBIs. New look for him at the dish right now. The 1-1 is fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stirrup socks all the way up to his knees, and he's rocking a fresh haircut. He had the flow going, but prior to today's game, he asked Jordy Lara if he could give him a nice buzz. The 1-2 is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Miller maybe a little more aerodynamic now without the locks weighing him down. 2-2. Down low, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Miller. Full count, nobody on, nobody out. 0-0 after an 8-pitch 1-2-3 top of the first from James Gillahini. Chipper Smith, a bulldog, he attacks the strike zone. 2-3 with a 4.83 ERA as a member of Jacksonville this year. This is his 13th start with the Suns. 3-2, a slow roller to second. Going to be a tough play for Soto. He flips it with the glove to first for the out, and that was Soto's only play with the speedy Ian Miller running up the first base line.
Some more Knights defense now continuing for the Suns. Soto at second with the glove flip. Via Sergi Rosa at first to handle the catch. They're joined in the infield by J.T. Riddle at short and David Adams at third base. Chad Christ catching tonight, and the outfielders Matt Yingle in left field, Kenny Wilson in center, Ayote Pena in right.
Right-handed hitter Tyler Bortnick up. First pitch from Smith is inside, 1-0. Just a reminder that the starting lineups, as always, are brought to you by the Tennessee Education Lottery. 1-0. Bortnick swings, skies one foul, right side and out of play, 1-1. Play the new August Instant Game from the Tennessee Education Lottery for your chance to win. Smith is a quick worker. We've got 2 very similar lefties, both minor league veterans. Here comes the 1-1. Swinging a ball shot foul again, this one on the ground and off the face of Jacksonville's dugout down the first base line. 1-2, kind of a gray night, but nice that it has not been as hot and humid recently here in West Tennessee. 330 down the right field line, same distance to the left field foul pole. Wall is 24 feet high in the left. 16 feet everywhere from the gap in left center to the right field foul pole. 1-2, swinging a ball, hitting the air towards the gap in left center, but this one is hanging. Kenny Wilson in center calls off the left fielder Matt Yingle. Wilson makes the catch for the second out of the inning. It's 390 feet to the wall in straightaway center. And our umpires tonight, Lou Williams is behind the plate. Jason Starkovich joins him at first, and Blake Carnahan, our crew chief, rounds out this 3-man squad. He's at third base.
Very good start to this contest, particularly for the pitchers. Nobody's gotten on base yet.
First pitch to the right-handed hitter Tyler Smith inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Smith hitting .345 in his last 23 games. He leads the team with a .275 average. 1-0 is hacked at and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Smith .275, 3 homers, 30 RBIs. Here comes the 1-1. Down low, 2-1. With Dan Paolini up in AAA, Tyler Smith has taken over the number 3 spot on Roy Howell's lineup card. 2-1, down low, 3 balls and a strike, and Smith is very good at working hitters' counts. He leads this Jackson club with 56 bases on balls. 3-1. Outside corner, a called strike. That was a late strike call from Lou Williams. Smith was about to take his left shin guard off. Instead, the payoff pitch is coming up from Chipper Smith. He steps off the rubber. Smith, a tall drink of water on the mound, 6'2", 195 pounds. Here comes the 3-2. Swinging a chopper back to the box. Speared there by the pitcher, Smith. He's able to spin and throw to first for the out. Smith answers James Gillahini's 1-2-3 top of the first with a perfect inning of his own in the home half. No score, no hits, no base runners through an inning. We'll see if the second changes that. Stay tuned. You're listening to Jackson Generals Baseball on the TJ Network. He picks it up. He spins and throws to first. But he did get the nickname from Chipper Jones. 0-1 is swung on and hit high in the air. First base side foul territory. Catcher Christ gives it a look, but this one will wind up a souvenir. No balls and 2 strikes. When he played Little League, Chipper had a swing that reminded his coach of Chipper Jones. He swung from the left side and threw right-handed, played third base. 0-2 to Rodriguez. Is hit high in the air to right field. This one will stay in the yard. Ayote Pena under it, and one former Binghamton Met flies out to another. Pena makes the catch, and Smith has retired the first 4 Jackson hitters he has faced. 1 out, nobody on, and Jordy Lara coming up for the Generals.
And Pena has already made a big impact in this game. His 2-out RBI single blooped in the left field in the top of this inning has given Jacksonville its current 1-run lead.
Lara with the longest active hitting streak on the Generals. First pitch, right-handed hitter takes a called strike. 0-1. Lara 7 for 17 over a 5-game hit streak. Second pitch swung on, hit in the air to right field pretty well. Pena to his left in front of the track. He reaches out, can't make the catch. Lara around first. He's speeding towards second. He's in there with a double, and that's a 6-game hit streak for Jackson's Jordy Lara.
Solid hit that just tailed out of reach for Pena. It also happens to be the first Generals hit of the game, which tonight is brought to you by the Bud Light Bullpen Bar, located down the left field line here at the ballpark at Jackson. Bud Light, here's to baseball.
Tyler Marlette digs in, right-handed hitter, former 5th-round draft pick by the Seattle Mariners, out of Hagerty High School outside of Orlando, Florida. That was in 2011 that he was drafted. Lefty on righty, man in scoring position for Jackson. Second baseman Soto keeping close tabs on Lara. First pitch, Marlette takes outside. Fastball missed at 89 that time. 1 ball and no strikes. Chipper's birth name is Michael Christopher Smith, but when he was drafted by the Marlins, asked if he could go by Chipper in their media guide and all the other publications. Here comes the 1-0. Swinging a line drive at a center field base hit. Late start for Lara, so he will get held up at third. Back-to-back hits, though, for Jackson, and the Generals have men on the corners with just 1 out.
Lara just holding for an extra split second, making sure that the ball got through behind him. And the ball was hit out quick enough that even though Kenny Wilson's relay back to the infield wasn't very picturesque, it was at least quick enough to suggest that Jordy Lara, even with a good jump, might have been held up anyway.
So it'll be up to Guillermo Pimentel. We'll see if he can come through with men on the corners and 1 out. Obviously the big thing here, you can't ground into a double play. Middle infield of Soto at second and Riddle at shortstop, both playing towards the bag. Third baseman Adams is in. Lefty on lefty. Pimentel wiggles the bat back and forth, holds it letter high. First pitch, fastball misses down low, 1-0. This is Pimentel's 4th game since earning a call-up from High Bakersfield. In his first at-bat at the AA level, he homered against the Tennessee Smokies. This was in the series finale against Tennessee. That was on Tuesday, 1-0. Breaking ball called a strike, knee high, 1-1. Pimentel 3 for 8 in his first 3 games, has a double, a homer, and 2 RBIs, but most of that production came in that first game. What a AA debut it was. Helped Jackson take an early lead and actually gave the Generals their first lead of that 5-game series in Game 5. 1-1, Pimentel rips it down the right field line. This one is fair and off the wall. Extra bases for Pimentel. Lara scores. We're tied at 1. Marlette held up at third. Pimentel comes through. RBI double for the slugging outfielder. That scores Jordy Lara, and it's a 1-1 ball game.
Fantastic rip that time by Pimentel to tie this game, and it sets up the Generals with multiple runners in scoring position for Jabari Henry, who has already shown a good bat earlier in this series.
Henry with 6 homers, but 3 have come in the month of August, so he's heating up a bit. Actually homered in 2 of 3 games after going deep in the opener against the Suns here in Jackson. Number 8 hitter, batting .169 with a half dozen homers and 24 runs batted in. 2 on, 1 out, both men in scoring position. Smith from the stretch. He misses outside 1-0. So Pimentel showing some real strength in his first 4 AA games. A homer in his first at-bat with the Generals. Doubled later on against the Smokies in that one. Now an RBI double here down the right field line. 1-0. Henry takes inside, had to turn away. It was nearly plunked by that pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. The left fielder Henry was second among all Seattle minor leaguers last year with 30 home runs, but that was in the hitter-friendly confines of High Desert Heritage Field, formerly Maverick Stadium. 2-0 is lined towards right center field. Pena coming in. That bounces in front of him for a base hit. Marlette will score. 2-1 Jackson on the RBI single by Jabari Henry.
Offense coming in droves right now for the Generals. After the first 4 batters were retired in order by Chipper Smith and company, now 4 in a row have gotten on safely with base hits, including back-to-back RBI base knocks.
And how about this? Jackson had 3 hits all of last night. They've got 4 hits in this inning alone. Laura with a double, Marlette with a single. RBI double for Pimentel, and now the RBI single by Jabari Henry. 4 straight hits for Jackson. Now this is the number 9 hitter, Zach Shank. Right-handed swinger, first pitch. Shank swings and lines one, but right at the shortstop Riddle, he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Nearly an RBI single and a 5th straight hit for Jackson, but unfortunately Shank lined out right to the Jacksonville shortstop there.
A tough break. Ball hit well, but right at Riddle, who made the play. At least the Generals got their runners back, and so they're still at the corners with the top of the order now working its way through again.
Ian Miller, still with the stirrup socks, left-handed hitter. Third baseman in, first baseman holding the runner on for Jacksonville. First pitch, Miller takes a breaking ball called a strike. 0-1 to the Jackson center fielder. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Generals here in the second. An RBI double for Pimentel and Henry with an RBI single. Third run batted in for Guillermo. 25th for Jabari. And Henry is back safely at first after a pickoff throw. 2-1 Jackson behind 4 consecutive hits here in the second against Chipper Smith. Tall lefty comes set, catcher sets up away. 0-1. Miller swings and misses. Breaking ball was outside. No balls, 2 strikes to the Jackson center fielder. Miller digs back in. Ian struggling a bit of late. He said that AA has been tough at times. It's a difficult transition. The 0-2 is down low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Jackson center fielder. Ian Miller leading off for the Generals. This is a position he has typically been in pretty much since he earned a promotion from High A. But was just 3 for 20 in the last series, 1 for 8 here against the Suns. 1-2, swinging a foul ball off of his foot. He goes down. That's one of those that I think hurts an awful lot right when it happens. Couldn't tell which foot he fouled it off of. Appears to be in a little bit of pain, but he's back up and on his 2 feet. Still a ball and 2 strikes to Ian Miller. He was 1 for 4 in last night's game with a pretty nifty bunt single. He actually lofted it over the pitcher, Austin Bryce. Bounced on the infield grass in front of the second base bag, and there was no play. Miller is one of the league's fastest base runners. 22 steals with the Generals, 21 prior to his call-up when he was with Bakersfield. Henry on first, Guillermo Pimentel on third. The 1-2. Miller takes inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ian Miller. 2 on with 2 out. 2-1 our score as well. Generals on top by a run. 2 scores on 4 hits here in the bottom of the second. Pitch to Miller, swung on and fouled back, and count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the Generals keep working a lot of pitches off of left-handed starter Chipper Smith. Now he's already up to 36 pitches in the game, 20 in this inning alone.
Lefty on lefty, Smith fires, 2-2, swung on and fouled off. Miller caught that ball behind him. It bounced off the dirt and fair territory, but hit him in the batter's box, and as a result, that's a foul ball and a dead ball, so he spoils another 2-strike offering. Miller digs back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and men on the corner for the Generals. 2-1 Jackson over Jacksonville. RBIs from Pimentel and Henry in this inning, and both of those guys are on base. Smith from the stretch. Runner goes from first, pitch is swung on and missed for the final out of the inning. Miller comes up empty, but the Jackson offense does not. 4 straight hits.